Elena Morales sat alone at her cafe, Café Del Mar, perched on the edge of a rocky cliff overlooking the sea. The familiar scent of coffee wafted through the air, but instead of comfort, it stirred memories that weighed heavy on her heart. The ocean waves crashed rhythmically against the rocks, but within her a haunting silence lingered, a stark echo of her husband Miguel's absence. Once, this cafe had resonated with laughter and music, with Miguel strumming his guitar, while she and their son Alex sang along. Now, the chairs were filled with patrons, but their voices faded into the background as Elena struggled to push away the memories that threatened to overwhelm her. She glanced at a corner table where Alex used to sit, his youthful laughter replaced by a profound silence. 3 years had passed since they received the tragic news of Miguel's death in Iraq, but the grief felt as fresh as ever. Alex, just 15, had withdrawn into himself, retreating into a world of resentment and loss. The bond they once shared had frayed, and Elena found herself lost in the chasm that separated them. The weight of unspoken words filled the air around them, thickening the silence that hung heavily inside the cafe. Elena's fingers found the crumpled paper tucked in her pocket, the unfinished song Miguel had written before he left. Each note lingered in her mind like a ghost, a bittersweet reminder of their love and the dreams they had shared. In that moment, the announcement of an upcoming tribute concert for fallen soldiers drifted through the cafe, igniting a flicker of hope within her. Could this be the opportunity to honor Miguel's memory, to connect with Alex? But as the hope surged, despair followed closely behind. Was she worthy of such an honor? The silence in their lives felt suffocating, and the fear of not being able to complete the song, to mend her relationship with Alex, threatened to overwhelm her. She yearned to reach out, to offer her son the embrace he needed, but felt trapped beneath the weight of her sorrows. As patrons chatted about the concert, Elena took a deep breath, willing herself to step beyond the confines of her grief. Memories flooded her, the joyful moments of music and laughter, the love that blossomed amidst familiar struggles. Yet those thoughts quickly turned bittersweet, tainted by the reality of her loneliness. The sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the cafe, illuminating Elena's longing gaze out towards the horizon. The waves whispered with an urgency. Time was passing, and she needed to act. She had to reclaim the melodies of their past, to weave a path back to Alex, and nurture the love that remained buried beneath their grief. As she locked the door and stepped outside, she whispered a quiet promise to the sea, to try to mend and to find her voice again. With the sun setting behind her, she took a deep breath, ready to embrace the journey ahead, believing that through the pain, they could still create a new song together, a testament to love, loss, and hope. With every step, Elena knew that her unfinished melody would guide her home. The morning sun filtered through the cafe's windows, casting a warm glow upon the walls that adorned memories of happier times. For Elena, each ray seemed to carry a whisper from the past, urging her to remember the love that once filled her life. The aroma of coffee mingled with the scent of freshly baked pastries, yet the sweetness did little to mask her heaviness. She took a moment to reflect on Miguel's laughter, his deep, soothing voice that poured over stories, crafting miniature worlds in their living room. Sitting at the edge of her bed, where a few photo albums lay forgotten, Elena opened the one adorned with their wedding day. In the faded photographs, she could see herself, radiant in a white dress, laughing as Miguel spun her around, his uniform crisp and proud. His eyes sparkled with a confidence that had captivated her from the start, the promise of a beautiful future glimmering in his gaze. Those early days of their marriage had been filled with warmth, intimacy, and, most importantly, music. Together they used to blend their voices, learning new songs side by side, their dreams intertwined through melodies that seemed to echo their hearts. One song in particular shone brightly in her memory, a tune they had crafted during a starry night beneath the open sky, the guitar notes dancing with the cool breeze. "Listen, Elena," Miguel had said, his fingers deftly navigating the strings. "This one is about us. It's a promise, an adventure." Fleeting happiness washed over Elena, but it faded like the sunset. Now, that song lay unfinished, lost to the shadows, with only the bittersweet echoes of their dreams haunting her heart. A knock on the cafe door jolted her from her reverie. It was Alex standing at the entrance, arms crossed, uncertainty etched on his youthful face. He hesitated, and for a moment, they locked eyes. "Hey," he finally muttered, shifting uncomfortably on his feet. "Hey, sweetheart," she replied softly, her heart lifting a little at his presence. She gestured him inside. "Want some breakfast?" He stepped in, the hesitant energy still trailing behind him. "I'm not hungry." His voice was flat, almost like a shield, keeping her at bay. Elena watched him, a deep longing flooding her chest. "Alex, we haven't talked in a while. Do you want to sit down?" He shuffled toward the counter, his gaze darting around, avoiding her eyes as he fidgeted with his phone. "I'm okay, Mom. Just checking something." A silence enveloped them, thick and choking. Alex busied himself with his phone, but Elena could sense the storm brewing beneath his surface. She yearned to reach out, to slice through the silence and find the connection they once shared, but the chasm felt insurmountable. "Do you remember that old song your dad and I wrote?" she asked gently, watching for a flicker of recognition. Alex paused, a spark of something passing over his features before he drained his expression of emotion. "I don't really want to talk about Dad right now." Her heart sank at his words, but she pressed on. "I get that, but maybe if we talk about it, we can find a way to remember him together." He turned away, his shoulders stiffening. "I said I don't want to." The outburst hit her hard. Eleanor had seen glimpses of his pain spiraling into anger, but each time felt like a knife twisting deeper into her heart. She swallowed, steeling herself against her own hurt. "I can't lose you too, Alex," she whispered, her voice cracking. "You're all I have left." For a moment, silence hung between them, filled with unsaid emotions. The sound of the ocean crashing against the rocks outside bled through the open window, a constant reminder of life's ebb and flow. Eventually he turned back, his defenses momentarily lowered. "I just feel abandoned," he admitted, his voice shaky. "You were supposed to take care of him. You stopped caring." Eleanor flinched, the words striking deep. "I cared. I still care. I lost him too. But I'm here, Alex. I want to bring us back to a place where we can share memories instead of pushing each other away." Her sincerity hung in the air, heavy and potent. As they locked eyes, she could see the hurt reflected back at her, and something inside her began to soften. "I miss him," Alex finally said, tears glistening in the corners of his eyes. "I miss you both." The fragile connection that sparked between them felt electrifying. It was raw and rough, but in that moment it was enough. Elena stepped closer, hoping to cradle that flickering spark and nurture it into something stronger. "I found an old song he wrote for us, Alex," she confessed. "I want to finish it together. I know we can't bring him back, but we can celebrate his memory through music." His expression shifted, curiosity reaching the surface. "You still have it?" She nodded, and for the first time in a while, she saw a glimmer of hope in her son's eyes. "Let's try, okay, for Dad?" Both of them shared a moment of silence, vulnerability stretching between them, held together by their love for Miguel. As they moved into the evening light, the unfinished song hung in the air, a melody waiting patiently to be released. Together, bound by love and the threads of their past, they began inching toward healing, with every note promising a deeper connection that had been waiting to bloom. The morning sun poured into the cafe, transforming the shadows into glimmers of hope. Eleanor felt a pulse of excitement. Today was the day they would begin to rebuild their lives through music. She rose from her bed, brimming with determination. As she prepared breakfast, she imagined Alex sharing her passion for their family's love of music, the magic they had once created together. After a simple breakfast of toast and fruit, she called for Alex, her heart quickening at the thought of spending this day working side by side with him. The sound of footsteps echoed through the kitchen, and when he finally entered, Eleanor noticed a subtle shift in his demeanor, a hint of anticipation resting on his features. "Are you ready?" she asked, maintaining a light tone despite her pounding heart. Alex nodded, but his voice wavered. "Where do we even start?" "Let's begin with the memories," she said softly, gesturing to the living room. "I'll get the notebook with the song." She quickly retrieved the weathered journal, feeling the warm familiarity of the pages. When she returned, Alex was seated with his father's guitar in his lap, uncertainty written across his face. "Just play what feels right," she encouraged, sitting down across from him. "This isn't about perfection, it's about finding our way back to that connection." With a deep breath, Alex strummed a few chords, hesitating at first, but then letting the notes flow. Elena joined in, humming a melody that sprung from the depths of her heart. For a moment, the air filled with the essence of their lost laughter, bridging the gap between loss and healing. "Can we add our own lyrics?" Alex asked, his brow furrowing with uncertainty. "Absolutely," she replied, her spirit lifting. "Let's write what we feel. This is our story now." As they took turns crafting lyrics, a safe space opened between them. Elena watched as Alex poured emotions into the words, raw and honest. "I didn't get to tell him goodbye," he wrote. "It feels like I didn't love him enough." Elena's heart ached with his honesty. "But we're here now," she whispered, scribbling alongside him. "We can still honor him through this music." The connection between them deepened with every lyrical draft, transforming what once felt heavy into something liberating. With tear-filled eyes, they shared memories woven through the music, allowing both grief and joy to coexist. "Can you believe we're doing this?" Alex said, a tentative smile emerging. "It feels right," she replied, gratitude bubbling within her. As they crafted their song, memories of Miguel surged within the room, lighting a fire in their hearts. Elena glanced at the clock and knew they had a limited time before the tribute concert loomed. "We should perform it at the concert," she suggested suddenly, the idea pushing adrenaline through her veins. Alex's eyes widened. "In front of people? What if we mess up? But what if it's a beautiful moment?" she countered. "It could be our way to let go of the pain and bring his spirit into the world." He hesitated, then nodded slowly. "Okay, let's make it a tribute. He always said music brings people together." With renewed determination, they threw themselves back into the creative process, their voices flooding the room with vulnerability and strength. The song began to take form, incorporating their laughter, tears, and an unbreakable connection to Miguel. As they finished penning the last lines, Elena felt a surge of gratitude wash over her. This undertaking was not just about remembering the past, it was about forging a new path for them both. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" Alex murmured, admiration glowing in his eyes. "Indeed it is," she agreed, the weight of their healing journey lifting slightly. In that moment, as they sat amidst the remnants of their combined creation, they could sense a profound shift begin to take place, a promise of new beginnings and layered emotions woven together through music. They both understood that the melody resonated far beyond notes and lyrics. It was a testament to their love, a legacy they could carry with them as they stepped courageously into the light. With hope blossoming between them, they were ready to share their unfinished melody, their tribute, an anthem of love and resilience that would endure through the echoes of time. The day of the tribute concert arrived with a vibrant sky, full of the promise of renewal. Elena stood in front of her mirror, smoothing down the fabric of her dress. The nerves fluttered within her, a wild mix of anticipation and dread. She brushed a stray hair behind her ear, giving herself a reassuring nod. This wasn't just a performance. It was a profound moment of transfiguration, a last act of love for Miguel and a chance to rewrite the narrative of their lives. The concert venue was a choice corner of the community park, decorated with flecks of colorful streamers that danced in the gentle breeze. A small stage with rustic wooden beams welcomed musicians and families, all gathered to honor the fallen soldiers, their faces illuminated by hope and memory. As Elena navigated the crowd, she clutched the folded lyric sheet to her chest. Around her, laughter mingled with music, but the sound felt distant, muffled. She scanned the audience for Alex, whose youthful anticipation was evident as he was hoisted onto the stage by warm applause. He grinned widely, excitement lit in his eyes. Elena stepped toward him, sensing the weight of their unrefined song, but also a powerful potential radiating from both of them. "You're ready, right?" she joked, breaking the tension. He laughed, the sound sparking confidence within her. "More than ever," he said, glancing out at the sea of faces. As they strode to the microphone, Elena felt the world shrink to just the two of them. They were about to step into a space where grief transformed into celebration. With a quick glance, she caught Alex's eye, filled with both fear and exhilaration. They were about to share a piece of their hearts. "Good evening, everyone," Elena began, her voice a bit shaky but steadying. "We're here to honor not only the brave souls we've lost, but also the love that remains." A swell of quiet spread through the crowd, eyes drawing towards the pair on stage, all the sorrow and hope palpable in the air. Together, they began strumming the guitar, the sound mingling with the soft rustling of leaves. The familiar melody poured from their fingertips, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. Elena began to sing their song, her voice lifting into the sky. Each word was a thread, stitching back together the fragments of their lives. As Alex joined in, the harmonies danced together, a perfect blend of grief and love, a manifestation of their journey. The crowd remained transfixed, with each bar invoking memories, tears, and laughter, a reflection of everything Miguel had meant to them. Elena felt Miguel's spirit swirling around them, wrapping them in warmth and assurance in a way she'd never experienced before. In that moment, the music transcended beyond the notes. They sang not just for Miguel, but for the healing that had begun to sprout within their bond. She saw the audience, some wiping away tears, others smiling gently, and it became clear that their song resonated far beyond their small family. It echoed through every heart present. With each verse, Elena's nervousness faded, replaced by exhilaration that brought new life to the words. They transitioned into a chorus, voices rising harmoniously, inviting the crowd into their shared grief. Elena caught sight of familiar faces, friends who had shared in happiness and sorrow, and it fueled her spirit even more. As they reached the song's climax, she noticed Alex beam with pride, a young boy finally finding his place in the world, his tribute taking shape through the artistry bestowed upon both of them. Suddenly, the crowd erupted into applause as their last note hung in the air, resonating like a heartbeat. Laughter and tears flowed seamlessly together, and in that moment, Elena felt an overwhelming sense of connection. She and Alex were no longer alone, but surrounded by love, support, and community. As the cheers faded, Elena spoke once more, her voice filled with emotion. "Thank you for allowing us to share Miguel with you today." Just then, a gentle breeze swept through the stage, swirling around them and bringing the scent of fresh blooms, evoking a powerful image of Miguel's cherished smile. "Thank you for being here, for keeping his spirit alive." The audience erupted in applause, their support caressing Elena's heart like a soft brush. Alex stepped forward, still unable to contain his excitement. "We love you, Dad," he shouted, lifting his hands up in triumphant joy. The echoes of their performance settled in among the crowd, a lasting tattoo of memory, hope, and renewal printed in the air. As they left the stage, emphatic applause following in their wake, a radiant sense of rebirth filled Elena. This was a marker, a beating pulse of their new journey as she cradled Alex in a side hug, his heart racing with pride. "You did amazing," she whispered to him, savoring the moment. It wasn't just the fulfillment of carrying on Miguel's legacy. It was about building something new, a blooming garden arising from shadows. "I couldn't have done it without you," Alex replied, his eyes sparkling with newfound confidence. Elena knew then that the song was not just a tribute to the past, but a beacon guiding them towards a future filled with love and resilience. In each other, they had found renewed strength, no longer lost in grief but woven into life's fabric by the bonds of family and music. As the sun began to set, casting gold and pink over the horizon, they walked onward into the soft twilight, ready to embrace whatever awaited them in the moments to come. United, transformed, and forever intertwined by their love for the man who had taught them the power of song. In the weeks following the concert, a vibrant energy transformed Elena and Alex's relationship. The echoes of their performance fueled their interactions, driving them to create a sanctuary of music and memories in their shared moments. Each spontaneous jam session became a new ritual, where laughter flowed freely, weaving them closer together. One early Sunday morning, the sun broke through the curtains, splashing warm light around the living room. Elena could hear Alex strumming a gentle tune on his guitar, the sound dancing through the house and tugging her out of sleep. The aroma of coffee mixed with the lingering scent of freshly baked bread wafted in from the kitchen, like a sweet invitation to join him. Peeking into the room, she found him reclining on the couch, eyes closed and lost in the music. The sunlight illuminated his face, revealing a hint of peace she hadn't seen before. It was a welcome change since the difficult days they had endured after losing Miguel. "Good morning, Rockstar," she teased, stepping into the room. "Morning, Mom." He cracked open one eye and shot her a wide smile. "I was hoping you'd wake up soon. I wrote a little something I wanted to share with you." Curiosity piqued, Elena settled beside him, ready to hear the words that flowed from his heart. Alex began strumming softly, a simple yet beautiful melody echoing through the air. "It goes like this." He hesitated for a moment, gathering the weight of his emotions. "It's about us, you know? about creating our own memories despite everything that's happened. He began to sing, and the lyrics spoke of resilience and love, intertwining their shared experiences into a heartfelt tribute to their evolving bond. As he sang, she felt the words wrap around her like a warm embrace, resonating deep within her soul. Every phrase painted a vivid portrait of healing. He was no longer just her son, but her partner in navigating the complex landscape of life. "That was beautiful, Alex," she whispered, tears prickling at the corners of her eyes. "Thank you for sharing that with me." Alex beamed with pride, the innocence of his joy radiating through the room. "I want to write more. I think it helps me feel closer to Dad." Eleanor nestled against him, absorbing the warmth of their moment. "It does. Music keeps his spirit alive in us. We should keep creating together." Days turned into weeks, and their bond flourished like wildflowers breaking through concrete. Their home became a stage where melodies and memories intertwined, transforming every moment spent together into something profound. One evening, after an intense writing session, they decided to take a break. With the fire crackling in the fireplace, they cracked open a bottle of sparkling cider, celebrating the progress they had made. The warmth enveloped them, wrapping them in a cocoon of love and safety. "Do you remember those summer nights when we would sit under the stars and listen to Dad play?" Elena asked, her voice soft and reminiscent. Alex smiled brightly, lost in the memory. "Yeah, we'd sit out there for hours. He'd tell us stories about each song. I miss it so much." "I do too," she replied, her heart pulling at the nostalgia. But there was a newfound strength within those memories. "But we have his music with us always, and we can make new ones, right?" "Absolutely. I've got so many ideas. It feels great to just let things flow." In that exchange, Elena realized how far they had come. They were building a legacy, not just a tribute to the past, but a present filled with laughter, joy, and creativity. As autumn settled into the air, golden leaves began to paint the landscape outside, bringing fresh inspiration. One evening, with the sky ablaze in hues of orange and pink, they sat on the porch, sipping hot cocoa. Elena marveled at how quickly the seasons changed, reflecting the changes within her and Alex. "Let's write a song for Thanksgiving," she suggested. "Something to celebrate everything we've gained this year." "Okay, like gratitude, but also about Dad?" he asked, his enthusiasm palpable. "Exactly. Let's show those feelings through our music," she encouraged. Under the twinkling stars, they worked tirelessly to blend their thoughts and ideas into a cohesive message. As the first notes filled the air, a sense of purpose enveloped them, their guitars harmonizing effortlessly. Each chord echoed their shared journey, a tapestry of healing, love, and promise. The song took shape around themes of love, resilience, and gratitude. They rediscovered joy via their shared experiences, transforming grief into something beautiful. They wanted to share that feeling not only at their small family gathering, but with others in the community. The night before Thanksgiving, Alex looked at the completed lyrics, beaming. "I can't wait for everyone to hear it." "Me too," she replied, feeling an infectious excitement bubble within her. "This really feels like the culmination of everything we've worked on together." On Thanksgiving Day, the aroma of roasted turkey mingled with cinnamon and nutmeg wafting in from the kitchen as family and friends gathered around the table. Laughter and chatter filled the air, a beautiful symphony of connection nurturing their hearts. Once everyone settled down, Eleanor suggested they share their new song. Nervous excitement buzzed through her, but she took a deep breath, encouraged by the warmth and support of family surrounding them. "Okay, everyone," she called out, glancing at Alex, who was adjusting his guitar strap. "We've written a special song we'd like to share. It's about love, gratitude, and our journey this past year." As they began to play, their lyrics floated through the room, wrapping everyone in a blanket of heartfelt memories. With each note, Elena felt Miguel's spirit enveloping them, a reminder that love transcends even the deepest losses. When they finished, the room erupted in applause, not for the performance itself, but for the vulnerable truth they had shared. Eyes glistened with tears, smiles illuminated faces, and the depths of their connection shone through. "Thank you for that," their aunt spoke, wiping a tear. "It reminded me of your dad, and how he brought us all together." Elena felt her heart swell with warmth and understanding. This song was a milestone, a testament to their growth, a bridge connecting not just themselves, but also their beloved Miguel with all those who had shared their lives. In that moment, surrounded by family, Eleanor and Alex realized they had blossomed into something beautiful together. With music as their foundation, they found a path forward, a shared journey where love and memories intertwined. As the evening faded into memories and laughter, they savored life's unpredictability and the endless possibilities ahead, ready to embrace wherever their music might take them next. As winter settled over the landscape, a soft blanket of snow covered the ground, turning the world into a serene haven, reminiscent of cherished memories. The crisp air brought with it new beginnings, and with the changing season, Elena and Alex's bond only grew stronger. They had turned their grief into a tapestry of melodies, and now the music resounded like a heartbeat in their lives. One chilly afternoon, they found themselves at a local holiday festival, wonders of twinkling lights illuminating the street, drawing families together with a spirit of joy and warmth. The scent of hot cocoa and cinnamon drifted through the air, mingling with the laughter of children building snowmen. Elena and Alex stood under the large tree, adorned with shimmering ornaments. "This reminds me of the time we made cookies for the neighbors," Eleanor said, her eyes sparkling with nostalgia. "I remember. We decorated them so badly they looked like monsters." Alex laughed, clasping his hands together in delight. "Hey, they were the best-tasting monsters," she replied, nudging him playfully. Their shared laughter echoed around them, pulling them deeper into the comforting embrace of family and holiday spirit. They wandered through the festival, taking in the sights and sounds. Nearby, a small stage was set up for local musicians to perform, and Eleanor felt a familiar flutter of excitement in her chest. "Let's sign up," Alex suggested suddenly, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. "We could perform that Thanksgiving song." Eleanor hesitated for a moment. While the thought of performing in front of a small crowd thrilled her, the fear of stepping back into that spotlight poured a chill down her spine. But looking into Alex's hopeful face, she was reminded of the strength they had both cultivated and the power of their music. "Okay," she agreed, her voice firm yet nervous. "Let's show them what we've got." As they signed up and prepared, the anticipation coursed through her veins like electricity, reminding her of their first performance together. Alex strummed his guitar lightly, each note wrapping around them like a support system on which they could lean. After a crowd of eager listeners gathered around the stage, Elena and Alex took a deep breath and stepped into the spotlight. "Thank you all for being here," Elena began, her voice steadying as she glanced at her son, who grinned back at her. "We'd like to share a song that reflects love and gratitude and the memories we cherish." As they began to play, the audience swelled with appreciation. It was exhilarating. Alex's fingers danced over the strings, and Elena's voice soared as they wove their song into the hearts of the crowd. Every note felt lighter and more liberating than the last, as they transformed anxiety into art. With each moment on stage, Elena felt Miguel's spirit dancing with them. The evening air pulsed with resilience and love. The excitement felt palpable. By the end of the performance, applause erupted, and Elena's heart swelled with pride, not just for their music, but for the profound journey they had embarked on together. "That was incredible," Alex shouted as they stepped off the stage, the adrenaline still buzzing beneath their skin. "It really was," she agreed, her voice full of joy. "You did amazing." Encouraged by their success, they decided to continue performing throughout the winter. Community events, open mic nights, and even the occasional family gathering. Each performance drew them closer, revealing parts of themselves they hadn't yet explored. One snowy evening, as they exited a local cafe after a successful open mic night, Elena turned to Alex. "Can you believe how far we've come? It's crazy. I never imagined we'd be doing this," he beamed, shoving his hands in his pockets, his cheeks flushed from the cold. They began to walk back home, their breath forming small clouds in the chilly air. They talked about the songs they wanted to write next, dreams sprouting like seeds sown in fertile ground. "I want to write something for Christmas," Alex suggested. "That sounds wonderful. Let's make it a celebration of everything we've experienced together since Dad's passing," Eleanor replied, feeling a fresh wave of inspiration unfurl inside her. With their hearts vibrant with passion, they began brainstorming ideas. The whimsical decorations adorning their neighbors' homes became their muses, sparking ideas for lyrics that spoke of love, acceptance, and new traditions formed around old memories. As the days passed, they spent hours composing, sometimes arguing over chord progressions, other times laughing at silly lyrics before settling onto something beautiful. Finally, the night came when they decided to present their new song at the community Christmas gathering. Under a canopy of stars twinkling like diamonds against the black sky, they took the stage once more, the soft glow of lights swathing them. "Thank you for being here tonight," Elena started, the warmth of the crowd surrounding her. "We've written a new song about our journey over the past year. It speaks of love, hope, and how we celebrate this season with family, even as we hold our memories dear." As they played, a softness settled over the audience, a gentle blanket of unity and emotion. The lyrics conjured images of shared moments, the warmth of love interwoven through loss, and though their hearts held sadness, they felt the joy of living fully in every note. After their performance, applause erupted once more, filling the night with echoes of celebration. As the crowd dispersed, Elena caught sight of familiar faces, friends, family, and community members, all applauding their efforts, visibly touched. "I think we've created something beautiful, Mum," Alex said, the excitement evident in his voice. "We have," she responded, pride blooming in her chest. "And every time we perform, we heal a little more." Homeward bound, they marveled at the lights reflecting off the snow, showcasing the beauty of their surroundings and recounting the joy that filled their hearts. Inside, they had created warmth through harmonies and newfound resilience, ready to face the coming year hand in hand. As they entered their home, the sweet scent of pine filled the air, the tree twinkling in the corner, an emblem of hope and love. They shared a glance, communicating without words, their hearts filled with love and gratitude. Together, they had built a life anew, a landscape rich in harmony, memories, and a deep connection that carried them onward, ready to embrace the journey ahead. As the new year dawned, sunlight streamed through the windows, warming the corners of their home. Eleanor and Alex embraced this fresh beginning, their hearts lighter after months of creating music together. The beauty of winter lingered outside, but inside, they felt a new warmth blooming, igniting hope and unity in their lives. One afternoon, while rummaging through their collection of music sheets, Elena stumbled upon the lyrics to their Thanksgiving song, memories flooding back as she read the words. An idea surged within her and she called out, "Alex, come check this out." He rushed into the room, his energy infectious. "What is it?" "Look at our Thanksgiving song. We should record it." Her eyes sparkled with excitement. "Let's make an EP of all our songs." Alex's expression transformed from confusion to exhilaration. "Are you serious? You really believe we can do that?" "Definitely. We've worked hard and poured our feelings into our music. It's time to share our story." Fueled by their dreams, they booked a session at a nearby recording studio, the reality of their idea washing over them like a tide of excitement. As the days passed, they practiced fervently, transforming nervous energy into passion. Each rehearsal brought them closer, their bond deepening after every strum and note played. When recording day finally arrived, the studio was alive with potential. The bright lights, stacked equipment, and countless accolades on the walls created an atmosphere akin to a sacred space. Alex fidgeted with anticipation, while Elena felt a mix of nerves and eagerness to honor their journey through music. "Just be yourself," she whispered, her gaze encouraging. "This is our story. It's worth telling." As they began to record, time slipped away. The outside world faded, leaving only the resonance of their music, a cathartic expression of their fears, hopes, and love. They recorded multiple tracks, and with each painstaking take, they transformed their raw emotions into finished songs. With a chorus of laughter and elation, they completed their final take, embracing tightly as triumph coursed through their veins. "We did it," Alex exclaimed. "Now we celebrate," Elena replied, filled with joy and relief. "This marks the beginning of our journey." To share their music, they planned a release party at the community center. The idea filled them with giddy excitement, a chance to unite family and friends and share their new songs, underscoring their transformation through grief into art. On the night of the event, the center was alive with a sense of anticipation. Strings of twinkling lights illuminated the small stage, and Eleanor felt joy swell within her as familiar faces filled the room. Together, they had journeyed through both sorrow and celebration, and now they stood united. "Thank you for being here," Eleanor began, her voice steady yet full of emotion. "We've written some songs reflecting our journey and the significance of family in our lives." As the first notes flowed from their instruments, the audience fell silent, engulfed in the warmth of their performance. The room vibrated with resonance, each note a testament to their hard work and connection. Memories of laughter and tears intertwined in the music, and with each verse Alex could feel Miguel's spirit enveloping them, a reminder that love remained a part of their lives. When the final chord faded away, applause erupted, showering them with affection and support. It roared through the space, amplifying the bond they had with their community. "Fantastic performance," Alex exclaimed as they stepped off the stage, his eyes glowing with newfound confidence. Eleanor's heart throbbed with pride. "We shared something real with them. It feels so good to be alive in this moment." As the evening progressed, the room buzzed with laughter and connection. They mingled with friends, sharing stories and creating new memories. It was a celebration of life, resilience, and the strength found in unity and purpose. Later, in a quiet corner of the hall, Elena paused to reflect on their journey. Through the rhythm of their songs, she sensed they had transformed pain into a force for good. The spotlight they once feared now felt like a warm embrace, illuminating their path. Turning to Alex, bursting with potential, she smiled and said, "Let's make this a continuous journey. Our story is just beginning." "Always, Mom," he agreed, determination shining in his eyes. Hand in hand, they stepped forward together, ready to embrace whatever awaited them. A future rich in love, music, and an unbreakable bond. They were prepared to fill the world with their melody, one note at a time, and to cherish every moment of their extraordinary journey ahead.